Atiku is coming. Atiku is coming. Atiku is coming. Come back. Yes, you did. I know. This is the candidate for chairman of local government who wants to deliver over. Or the chairman of local government, chairman Amiri, chairman of the East, local government, chairman of the South.
That's here. Don't come here. Let go now, go. Now don't.
He said, Papa Nata, Papa Nata, the great king. Chairman of the Oga. No, it's too boss.
Can we go? Can we?
Why are we talking?
Vice President, and of course, our performing former Senate on the agenda. Good afternoon and welcome to
the gubernatorial candidate from Ebonyi State.
former Governor, His Excellency Atiku Say love you life.
Are here and wish all of us a very wonderful and fruitful deliberation. Thank you all and God bless you all.
Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, the former Vice President of the Federal Republic,
To welcome the former two-term Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 to 2007, and most importantly, the standard bearer of our great party PDP in the 2023 presidential election, His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar GCON, Waziri Adamawa to Enugu State. I welcome the Vice Presidential candidate of our party, His Excellency Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Chukwu Atokowa, the two-term governor of Delta State, and other members of this distinguished entourage to Enugu State. I extend to you the reverence and the best wishes of the government and the good people of Enugu State, as well as the teaming leaders and members of our great party PDP, on this occasion of your meeting with the Southeast Zone stakeholders in furtherance of our consultation for the 2023 presidential election. I respectfully acknowledge the esteemed leaders of our party who has traveled from far and near to be part of this epoch-making event, especially my brother, former governors, deputy governors, governorship candidate, deputy governorship candidates, serving and former members of BOT, serving and former principal officers of the National Assembly, serving and former members of the National Assembly, serving and former members of the National Working Committee of our party, former ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, speakers of the Houses of Assembly, senatorial district candidate, House of Representative candidate, serving and former chairman and secretaries of the party, state leaders, women leaders and publicity secretary of the party, local government chairman, representative of religious and cultural communities, etc. The provisions of the Electoral Act 2022 as amended and the Independent National Electoral Commission political calendar constrain all political parties' candidates for embarking on electoral campaign in the meantime. In this circumstance, I content myself with welcoming you to Enugu, the capital of the Southeast Nigeria, and assuring you that Enugu State is essentially a PDP state. While we await the nature and scope of today's consultation, I wish us very fruitful deliberation. Thank you and God bless you. Because, as the host governor said, Southeast is PDP and PDP is Southeast. I say that with all sense of responsibility, that we, the Southeasterners, much as we are the shock absorbers of goings on in the nation, we've realized that in 7 years and counting, we have not been favored in this country. And the only man that will bring us and cleanse us of that tears is President Atiku Abubakar. So that we know this time, and even the last time, we suffered because we were entirely PDP. Not to talk of now that we have realized what it takes to be hated and what it will take to be loved. So we will vote entirely in this Southeast zone for PDP. So, Mr. President, please just go and sleep. I mean, we just seen all the retinue of leaders, political leaders of Igbo extraction. They're all here. They are all here. You know, in fact, if the MC is allowed to continue to recognize dignitaries, you know, we will not leave here today. They are all here. And I want to assure you, sir, once again, and our great party, that PDP will win the Southeast zone clearly. And I want to, before I sit down, permit me to express my profound gratitude. I'm an Abian, you know, to my great governor, Governor Ibazo, for being here. I mean, when somebody represents someone, that means that person is here. I'm so happy that the whole world would know from today that, I mean, you know, he's here, he's PDP, and he's not taking Abia State nowhere other than to PDP. So I thank you for listening.
You see so many former governors here present. I can see more than 6-7 of them, and I will stop here and recognize also my colleagues, the NWC members, and stand on the existing protocol. I want to use this opportunity to thank our host governor. The rosy welcome is an indication that Southeast is PDP and PDP is Southeast. My goodwill message to our brothers in the Southeast is to assure them that PDP is still the party to beat. We are very strong, growing stronger, and ready to take over as come 2023 with our presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, God willing. We have brought you a marketable product. Somebody who walks straight, very healthy, agile, full of ideas. He was the architect of modern Nigeria. You remember very well that when you want to call your relative in those days, you have to go to either Natal and queue up, but is one that gives you the comfort of calling your relative, even if he is in Bordeaux, right inside Europe. This is what you have as a candidate. I will count on and on and on. This present government that is called All Promise Council, that is APC, has denied you so many things, even in terms of appointment. When you look at the appointments they give you, is something that is rejected by others. And yet, some of our brothers from the southeast are still deceiving you that you should go and vote for APC. Somebody mentioned something here that we keep reassuring and assuring. Our assurance is not that of somebody with name Ashwaju. If you say Ashwaju, in my language, you are lost. That's the meaning of Ashwaju. So I want to use this opportunity to enjoin you to vote for PDP for our candidates in all elections. We are proud of Southeast. Southeast will remain PDP, and with the candidate we have now, you know that your wars are over. He's a unifier. He's one of you because his genes is deeply rooted and planted in the Southeast. So this is what we expect of you. We don't expect less. And I will say my final remarks by thanking my friend for hosting us today in Enugu. And I wish all of you that came from other states journey buses back home. Thank you very much.
But for today, I only have very short comments to make. We are in a country today that we cannot trust what tomorrow holds, except when we take the right decision. We are in a country today that is so disunited, and rightfully so disunited, because we have not had equity and fairness. There is insecurity in the land. And when we look at what is going on today, what we have begun to see is a situation where people are talking about their ethnicity, their religion, or their region. But that is not a solution to Nigeria. The solution to the problems of Nigeria is who has that capacity, who has that experience and knowledge, who is that man that will be fair to everybody, who is that man that is ready to call everyone to the table to discuss Nigeria and to ensure that there is equity. Who is that man in this country today that sees every part of Nigeria as a home? Whether he's in the southwest, he's in the southeast, south-south, northeast, northwest, or north central. There is only one man on the field today, those running for presidency of this country, that has all these qualities in one. And that person is the presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar. We are talking about the economy of this country. But the real truth, until we unite this country, until we realize that we have to deal with issues of insecurity, until we begin to devote powers, more powers and more resources, more money to the states and local governments. Until we realize that education is important and we cannot afford to keep our children at home when they ought to be in school, we will not be able to deal with the issues of the economy. And I know that when you come to the issues of the economy, Atiku is one man that stands very tall. In 1999 to 2007, we know the role that he played. For our people in the Southeast, yes, there are many issues. But the leaders of politics in the entirety of the Southeast are here. And it is for us to guide our people. That guidance is very important to embolden them to do what is right. In the last 7 years plus, the Southeast has suffered under the APC governance. We have an opportunity to change the situation. Our leaders here are respected in the PDP. They are friends and respected by His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. We must boldly come out to encourage our people so that they can boldly come out on election day to vote PDP. Somebody has to lead it. If we stay back, our people will be misled. If we stay back, our people may be afraid to come out to vote. But when you come out boldly, the situation will change and we'll have victory. And then we'll be counted very strongly on the day of reckoning. We have not come for campaign. We have come to educate our people and to talk with our people. The electoral map as of today in this country, only one party today has strength in the 6 geopolitical zones. Only one. And that is the PDP. Watch it. A lot is happening in the Northwest. In the Northeast, we are very strong. A lot is happening in the North Central, and we have become very strong. In the South, the PDP is in charge. In the Southeast, I'm very convinced that with the leaders we have here, we are in charge if we want to be in charge. I'm very convinced that we know that in the Southwest, the only party that can compete with the APC and will compete and outcompete them is the PDP. Because I'm very certain, you saw what happened in Osun State. We're in charge of Oyo State. And I'm very convinced that we're in charge of Ondo State. A lot is happening in Ogun State. A lot is happening in Ekiti State. Even in the very Lagos, PDP is going to compete very favorably. That is looking at the electoral map. Check out other parties. Their presence will be felt in 1, 2, or 3. And beyond that, you will not find them strong anywhere else. That is the truth. Because the APC has become very weakened across the nation. Because when we asked for what was good, they gave us insecurity. When we asked for what was good, they disunited Nigeria. Other parties that we are talking about, even the Labour Party that they are talking about, is trying to find its feet only in 2 places. But I know that when our leaders here rise up, to the challenge, they cannot find roots in the Southeast. I'm convinced that the attempt to go into the North Central, that attempt already has been defeated from the beginning. Our leaders must pay the price by rising up to the challenge and by guiding our people in the right path, so that on the day of victory, because it will surely come, we can rise up as leaders and say we led our people in the right direction. When we engage them, they will come out boldly. And I know that our leaders are able to do it. With what I've seen here this afternoon, I want to thank my brother, Governor Gwine. For giving true leadership. What he has done here, by mobilizing all of us, is to give strength to us, is to encourage us to come out boldly, is to ensure that we do not stay inside. That is exactly what we have done. And I know that by the time the results of the elections of February 25, 2023 is called, you will realize that you led the people in the right direction. Yes, people may speak in one manner or the other, but the fact is that when you lead your people in the right direction, and knowing fully well that the man Atiku is somebody that has a lot of love for the Igbos, there will be a lot to share. And the share of the Southeast, I believe, will be more than what we expect. Because I know that Waziri Adamawa is a friend of the Igbos, and he will remain so forever. So I thank all of us. There are a few facts which we must go home with today. Onyege Wike dozi Nigeria today. Also Waziri Adamawa. Nigeria is in a state of chaos, and there is no doubt about that. Obuna Mulano, I a state of unity in Nigeria. Or Waziri Wike make a Nigeria this one. Obuna a state of insecurity. The solution, the with Waziri. That in our elders, our elders, they were bold and courageous on the field. Even in Nekita, they say our elders, they were withdrawn. You have to lead the elections. And when you lead the elections, if any leader didn't mind, because our followers, Gaputa people, with boldness if the leaders themselves are bold. The leaders that I see on the front line, I don't see them in the Labour Party. But are we ready to come out? That is where the question is. But our governor has demonstrated boldness. And I believe that with that boldness, he has called us out for this election. Our women, I greet you all. I thank you. I thank you for making this day very friendly with your very wonderful songs. And I'm begging that you sing this one yet again. Ogbondioma, Obuye Kanjise, Ogbondioma, 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 Obuye Kanjise, Ogbondioma, DP, Ogbondioma, Obuye Kanjise, Ogbondioma, Ogbondioma.
Love Atiku, and you really want to show that you vote Atiku, clap your hands. With what I saw when we came in, with what I saw when we came in, God will bless you roundabout. Deputy Governor of Abia State, God will bless you. Chineke idimai, idimai. Thank you very much. Please sit down. Stand up. That's his personal doctor of over 20 years. Then the man where they cook for Atiku, where Atiku they chop, he has been with Atiku for over 34 years. Morris is an Igbo man from Delta. His bosom boy who became his friend and now he became a governor has been his boy for over 20 years. Emeka Yedio is here. PDP, then his personal friend, his friend and ally of over 20 years, Senator Ben Obi is here. Also, somebody has been with him from 19 Girigirino calendar. I've been seeing him with Atiku. Honorable Greg, where are you? Honorable, look at him here. I am just giving you some very few. Where is Dan Ulas? Well, look at that. I can continue to count and count and count. So when we say Atiku is detribalized, we are not looking looking for emergency friends like others are doing. These are people that have been with him 2-3 decades ago, and they are still together. Imagine you have a doctor, you have a cook, 20 years, 30 years, and they are still with him today. Then somebody will come emergency and say he's a friend of the Igbo. Who is more of a friend of the Igbo than Atiku Abubakar? And who? So now that we have come here, I am going to round up before I invite him to speak. And we are going to appreciate, and the whole world will know, that now that the battle is over, now that the battle is over, make labor people here now, now that the battle is over, we are more than conquerors. Thank you very much. The next one I will sing.
Anambra Gwen, Imo Gwen, Ebonyi Gwen, Enugu Gwen, Buru Buru. Thank you very much. Our most hospitable host, the governor of Enugu State, Your Excellency, the governor of Delta State, and the vice presidential candidate of our great party, former governors, members of the National Working Committee, senators, distinguished party leaders, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by sincerely apologizing to the leaders and stakeholders of the Southeast Zone who got the notice for this meeting rather late or even failed to get it. I am also told that the party did not liaise properly with the zonal officials regarding arrangements for this meeting. But you went ahead and made the arrangements anyway. I will definitely let the party know so that we do better in the future. This past week has been a very difficult one for me, and I'm sure that must have contributed to my not getting a timely briefing on the arrangements being made. But I take full responsibility and promise to do better in the future. In fact, I have not communicated adequately myself, and for that, I sincerely apologize, particularly to our host. Our task is a collective one, and I appeal to all to watch out for lapses and bring our attention to them so that corrective measures can be taken in a timely manner. We cannot leave anybody behind, and we cannot take anybody or anything for granted. The campaigns and elections are huge, complex, and highly demanding undertakings, and we must win the election for the sake of our country and our people. I sincerely thank you, our own Buruguru, His Excellency Governor Ifeanyi Ogbanyi, for his demonstrated commitment to the success of this party, for the elaborate arrangements made, and for our electoral victory next year. I am told, and I have seen myself, that he went the extra mile to ensure that adequate preparations were made despite my communication shortcomings. That is leadership. That is commitment. That is selflessness. And I highly appreciate you, Guru Guru. Thank you. This very important visit is part of my consultations with the leaders of our various zones to thank them for their support, to listen to them regarding the issues specific to their zones, both in terms of preparations for the campaigns, but also governance after the elections. We must be prepared to hit the ground running from day one if Nigerians give us their mandate. Our country is in very bad shape, and rescuing it requires proper preparations and attention to details, not just in terms of general issues affecting the whole country, but also issues specific to each zone and states they are in, because they differ from state to state and from zone to zone. As you know, the Southeast is close to my heart. You have supported me through thick and thin, and I will always remember that. Your sons and daughters have played very positive roles in the development of my life and our country. They were key personnel who played important roles in the PDP government in which I served as Vice President. And they have continued to excel in other roles across the world. You are a key contributor to economic activities in this country, and a government that wants to revive our economy and provide opportunities for our people must carry the Southeast along. I am a businessman, and I know that businesses need supporting environment to thrive. And when they thrive, the country thrives. I do not see the provision of infrastructure in any part of the country as a favor to that country or to that part. If anything, it is a favor to the country because we are one country and one economy. An illustration, a bridge across the river Niger or a coal power plant in Enugu is a favor to the Nigerian economy because they will contribute to growth in economic activities, not just in the Southeast, but across the country. We do not require identity cards from people and goods crossing a bridge. And electric power does not carry ethnic or religious currents when they pass low or high tension cables. When you understand the importance of infrastructure for economic development, jobs, and wealth creation, your focus would be to provide as much infrastructure as is needed in every part of the country, rather than treat it as favors to be bestowed on those you like and denied to those you dislike. When I was campaigning for the privilege of being a presidential candidate in the forthcoming election, I outlined 5 priorities: to reunify the country, improve security, fix the economy, restructure the federation, and improve human capital development. These are the areas that I believe would have the most impact on all other aspects of our development and our quality of life as citizens and as a country. Our country is more divided today than it has ever been, and it is our responsibility to reunify through equity, justice, and fairness. That way, we can all pull in one direction to develop our country and improve our people's lives. This will require giving every segment of this country a sense of belonging, not just by meeting constitutional requirements on federal character, but through government policies, programs and projects, and our body language and utterances as leaders. We need to provide efficient and effective government that secures the lives and properties of our people. Without security, life itself is meaningless economic and other legitimate activities become impaired and investors will only flee. That is why security will be a top priority for a government that I lead. We will recruit, train, adequately equip and reward more police and other security personnel. We shall devolve policing powers to states that so desire can establish state police to help secure their states. I have been calling for this for several years. Even when I was in government, I had a disagreement with my boss on that. And we now seem to have reached a national consensus on it. Now there is no part of this country, whether north or south, which is against police, state police. None. Part of our task is to separate genuine political grievances from mere criminality. Political grievance will be addressed through the political process, while criminality will be dealt with through law enforcement. However, we will address the root causes of insecurity, including the lack of opportunities, collapse of education, climate change, and its impact on agriculture and animal husbandry, and lack of modernization of same. We shall modernize our agriculture, including animal husbandry, to help reduce the persistent clashes between farmers and nomadic herders, which have increasingly become violent. Since the late 1960s, we have had a faulty federal structure that concentrates too much power and resources at the center, thereby turning the federating states into appendages or parastatals of the federal government. A PDP government that I lead will work with the legislatures to restructure our federal system and devolve more powers to the states with corresponding resources. In fact, to give you an update, I had already set up a constitutional review comprising constitutional lawyers to help me draft an amendment to our constitution, so that from day one, I will meet with the governors, I will meet with the leaders of the legislators, so that we can have an understanding and pass that law or that amendment to our constitution. That way, states will be better able to set their own development priorities, while the federal government focuses on setting and maintaining standards. A federal system that does not encourage the federating units to compete among themselves in order to be better is a faulty one. This restructuring is not a favor to any section or group of sections of the country. Our country needs it badly in order to survive and thrive. Our economy also needs major reforms if it is to grow and provide jobs and opportunities for our young people. We must involve the private sector more in economic activities and investment, including in the provision of infrastructure. We shall stop fiscal support for non-performing government enterprises and also end, I said end, fuel subsidies. I'm not scared to say it, because between 1999 and 2007, I drew up a program of removal of fuel subsidies, and I implemented phase 1, phase 2. Unfortunately, after we left office, the subsidies continued to grow and grow and grow. It is simply a fraud. We will divert the fraud into more money and more development to the country. Support for the private sector as well as the medium and small-scale enterprises will unleash our people's creative energies as well as attract investments from outside our shores. Millions of jobs will be created. We did this before. In the government in which I served as vice president, you saw Nigerians returning from abroad to invest and seek other opportunities in the country, because I experienced it in my university. When I made sure I provide international standards and advertised. So many Nigerians from the United States and Europe came back, not only to, not to Lagos or to Abuja, but to Northeast Yola. And they came back. So all what we need to do is to make sure that we make our country attractive for them to return. And they will return. Under the APC, that trend has since reversed. People cannot wait to run away from Nigeria. All of you have relatives, children who are running away, United States, Canada. I have my own. I have refused any one of them to go to abroad and reside because I don't believe in it. We have to stay in this country. Another critical priority area for me is human capital development. We shall provide good quality education and skills that will enable our young people to compete in the modern economy that is knowledge-based and driven by technology and innovation. We shall also provide good quality healthcare system that focuses on preventive care. We shall therefore make massive investments in these critical areas. A well-educated and healthy workforce is critical for economic development and wealth creation in today's world. My dear brothers and sisters and friends, this agenda will benefit the Southeast. A Nigeria that truly works will work for all its zones. We must tackle the feeling of marginalization, which is providing an excuse for the separatist agitations, particularly in this zone. National unity will benefit the people of this zone who need a wider platform to operate. Restructuring that devolves powers from the federal government and gives states the power to set their priorities is better for this zone than what we currently have and have had since the late 1960s. I believe that you should not pull back one of your child that appears to be doing better at some point so that your other children will catch up. No. Rather, you encourage the ones lagging behind to emulate the one that is doing well so that they can all do better. Holding the faster one back will result in all of them falling behind and handing victory to children who are not from your family. Also, insecurity pervades the Southeast now as much as other zones. And without security, people cannot go about their normal businesses. I am aware of how the economy of this zone and the livelihoods of its people are being destroyed by Monday sit at home, being imposed by a small misguided youth from this zone. I want to appeal to you as leaders and elders of this zone to prevail on those misguided youth. It is difficult to understand how you liberate a people by destroying their economy. Very difficult. This has to stop, and we shall address all political grievances not just by words, but by deeds. The provision of infrastructure is critical for businesses and economic growth in the region, including necessary linkages across the country. Improved education is critical for this zone and the country as a whole. So is good quality healthcare. But beyond these priorities, I would like to listen to these specific issues peculiar to this zone, which we need to address as a party and as a government. To that end, and without prejudice to what I will learn during this parley, I would like us to have a joint committee of our campaign. Thank you. Of our campaign in the zone with one representative of each state to liaise on issues specific to the Southeast zone so that we will need to address them if we work harder enough to win the elections. We will replicate these joint committees across the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. We need this level of detail, not just to win elections, but more importantly, in order to be able to provide good governance. I have been providing solutions after solution at every turn of an election in this country. And governments have been borrowing from my program solutions from time to time. Some borrow, implement, some borrow, they don't implement, particularly this government. The process will help us to hit the ground running on those issues as soon as we are sworn in. I know, for instance, that it is important to Enugu State that the Akanu Ibiam International Airport gains full approval to handle international flights. Once more, I thank you most sincerely for your support for me, our party, and all our candidates. We must all work hard, very hard, to make sure the Southeast is and remains our fortress. This will be a tough election. Let us work to secure every vote possible. The party and the campaign, I will give you the support you need. Buru Buru, I thank you again immensely for your support, your commitment, and your patience. You did it in 2019 when everybody was saying you were not going to do it. And here we are in 2022, going into 2023, you are repeating the same thing. You see, let me tell you a story about myself. When I was a young officer in the customs service after graduating from the university, it happened that my closest friends and associates were from the southeastern Nigeria. Why? Because they were businessmen. And I remember when I was hired into the Customs and Excise, then our instructors were colonial British officers. The first lecture we had in the class, the white man said, he was trying to define what is customs. He said, what is customs? He said, customs is to facilitate trade. He did not say customs is to seize somebody's goods. Believe me. So, because of that training, I never seized anybody's goods. What I did, I made sure that I recorded the highest revenue in every station I served. So if you look at my graph in the customs service, you find that any place I served, I recorded the highest revenue. If you bring goods which are contraband, of course there is a law. You either pay to collect duty or you pay 3 times or 6 times. I said pay and collect your goods. If you lose, it's your business. If you make money, it's your business. And most of the importers were Igbos, and they became my friends. So from 1999 to 2007, when I was in government, go and check the number of Southeasterners that were placed in very key and sensitive positions when I was vice president. The chairman of the economic panel that I set up to draw our economic reform of Professor Anya Oanya, he's still alive. Go to Lagos and ask him. He sat down with other Nigerians to give us an economic reform report, which we implemented. When I asked him, Prof, would you want a government job? He said, no, I don't want any government job. And till today, he has never held any government job. So you cannot say that I am not a friend of the Igbos. In 2007, as a presidential candidate of the Action Congress, my running mate was Senator Ben Obi, who is Benobi? Is he not Southeasterner and Igbo? How can you say I don't like Igbos? I made it quite clear that, and confidently too, I will be your stepping stone to becoming a president. I did that. Thank you very much. I did that in 2019. Again, I brought another Obi as my running mate. Didn't I bring? So how could you say I will not give the Igbos a fair chance to lead this country? Again, in 2010, 2011, when I became the consensus candidate of the North, again I chose somebody from the Southeast, another Obi, I don't know. So, and in 2022, here we are. Even when Ohaneze said, no Igbo man should contest in PDP for presidency. After emerging as a candidate, I picked Dr. Ifeanyi Anta Okowa as my running mate. Another Igbo man. Abba, for God's sake, be fair to me now. So my brothers and sisters, I don't address you anymore as gentlemen or ladies and gentlemen. My brothers and sisters, it is quite clear that you can't fault my love for the Igbo nation. You can't. And I still make bold and state clearly that I will make an Igbo man to become a president. I have supported somebody from the Southwest to be president. I have supported somebody from the Northwest to be president. I will support somebody from the Southeast to be president. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Buruburu, I want to again finally, in conclusion, thank you for your support, for your brotherly kindness, and for all what you have done to the people of Enugu and the Southeast in general, and Nigeria as well. One very, very, very private thing that I have not disclosed to you. I have 3 Igbo kids. Thank you very much.